everybody. This is Suzanne Spooner, QHHT Level 3 practitioner in Des Moines, Iowa. And I have a new session segment for you. This one is so fun. I'm going to call it A Teacher Through the Ages, I believe. This is because in this lifetime she's been a teacher. Her beautiful high self said that she is a teacher, the high self. And through her past life that we saw, she was a teacher. So this is the role that her soul feels super duper comfortable with, and it's explained beautifully in her session. So as we begin, she's in a lifetime in kind of Victorian England, I believe, being a teacher, kind of a solitary life until a little bit farther along as she goes, and she's feeling very restricted. You know, it's the female role of that time didn't have a lot of freedom to do the things that they really wanted to do, to teach what they really wanted to teach. And now that I'm thinking about that, I was listening to her session this morning, and her high self talks about that, about how she was only allowed to teach the rudimentary things like math and English, not about energy and spirit and what she really is an expert at. So interesting how all of that plays out, and how it played out in her career in this life. She worked with kids that had some challenges, and she had a gift with that, which is much more understandable after listening to her session. Okay, so this session is a little bit different than some of the ones that you've heard. We usually keep them in the past life or future life or wherever they decide to go for about 45 minutes, sometimes an hour. That's for a couple of different reasons, mostly to get them in so deep that they are ready to really roll with it when we get to the high self. And this one, she was in pretty deep. And so we're going to make a transition over to her high self earlier than normal, which is, it's a little, I have to just kind of hope that I'm making the right decision with that she's ready to go. Her list was a little bit long on the questions, which is great. How they come in is fine. I usually recommend about 15 to 25-ish. We had about 30 on this one. And you just never know. Sometimes when they answer those questions, they're kind of short and concise, and I have to keep asking more questions off their answers to get more information. Sometimes one question takes 10 minutes to answer or longer, and that's beautiful because they're sharing so much information. You don't want to stop it. So it's a little bit of a balancing act that we're doing here. It always seems to end up just the way it's supposed to, of course. So I took her into the high self portion earlier than normal, and she just handled it like a pro. And so there's a couple of fun things here, a couple of interesting themes of questions that she had, and about her high self in general. The high self in general, you're going to hear the voice change. Now, sometimes as you've listened to maybe some other sessions that I put out, that happens right away when we switch to the high self. But this one is a very subtle change. As we start into the high self, it sounds more like her voice, more authoritative, knows what it knows, and has the answers for us without even having to think about them, of course, because we're tapping into that part of her that knows everything, doesn't have to ponder and go over to the left brain and analyze. So cool. But as we progress into the high self session, you'll hear a change in her voice, and it's beautiful. It's very much not like her own voice. It, to me, sounded almost like an Eastern European accent. I asked her high self about that at the end. It's a very funny answer. I'll let you listen to that. But the themes of her session, I think, are very universal for a lot of us. And I'm so grateful that she's allowed us to put her session out. Part of the theme was that she needs to put herself out there and not be afraid and shut herself down. So she's taking a big step by allowing me to share this with you. So much thanks to Darcy for being one to do this. And it's so much fun. So the themes are fear and how to overcome fear, which is such a lesson that so many of us are learning on the planet right now. We can look outside of ourselves and see a lot of fear opportunities going around. And we get to choose how we're going to, I'm going to get up and let my dog in. We get to choose how we are going to work with that or not. This is the time that we're letting go of fear, and that's why there's so much stuff going on in the world right now. And her high self has a lot of really good information about how we work away from that, how we stay in a place of high vibration. Sorry, I hope I'm not making you guys dizzy by moving like that, but I had to let Pippa in. Sorry. Okay, so so fear is a big topic that we talk about. Interestingly, her mother and her aunt, as in their younger times of their life, lived close together. I can't remember if it was side by side or close within the same few houses. And they both witnessed a UFO experience. And the mom has had a lot of UFO experiences. And that was one of her questions, like, what's the deal with that? And is she a part of that? And is that part of their family lineage? Really cool answers there. And she texted me not too long ago and said that she's had some validation on that since her session and saw some beautiful lights up in the sky. I think it was the day or two after her session. So that was kind of cool validation for her there. Oh, this is so cool. So she tells me when we're just talking before we start the session that she's had this thing happen. She calls it gibberish. That she can't make it happen. It just seems to come on when she's in a very relaxed state, like when she was, when her babies were young and she was rocking them, this gibberish would happen. When she's telling me this, I'm going, ooh, light language or star language, I wonder what it is. But she had never told anyone about it until she told me in the session. And, we decided to ask about that because that's so interesting. And her beautiful high self demonstrates it. So again, we get this wonderful demonstration of a light language. Very funny. Oh, her high self is just a hoot. Very entertaining. So anyways, I think this will be a fun session to listen to. And for us who are trying to get a deeper grasp of letting go of fear, this is a wonderful session to take in the information and use it for yourself. Very cool. All right, I think that is all I have for you. Okay, well, yeah, okay, so I'm going to just mention this here. A dear friend of mine, her name is Sarah, is going to put together a trip to Egypt, a tour. We'll get more information about that. We're figuring out dates and itineraries right now, but we'd love to take a group of people over to Egypt and experience how you are connected to those places. If you've ever felt drawn to Egypt, would like to explore your lifetimes in those areas. Sarah's written some really cool books about the ancient history of Egypt and Atlantis, and how Egypt could be an outpost to Atlantis. So anyways, more information will be coming on my website about that, on my Facebook page, on Sarah's, and I'll get that information to you guys when we've got something more solid. We have a meeting about that today. So more to come. Very exciting. More than one trip. So if the first one doesn't work for you, we'll do another. Okay, I think that's it. I hope you guys have a great day and enjoy this recording, A Teacher Through the Ages. See you later.
What's the very first thing that you notice?
It's a stone street.
Okay, tell me all about the stone street.
There's horses and carriages. I have a dress on. It's plaid.
Okay.
I noticed that right away.
Wow, okay. Beautiful. What color's in the plaid?
Kind of muted. I see red. I see yellow.
In that stone street, what else do you notice around you?
There's carriages and horses, people.
What are the other people like?
Dressed pretty formally. They're walking. It's a It's a city.
Okay.
Looks like a city.
And the buildings, what are they like?
The brick with not super tall, but fairly tall.
Very good. Anything else going on around you that you notice?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Now let's bring your focus back to yourself there.
Yeah.
When you look down, do you see your feet?
They're covered by the dress.
Okay. Does it feel like you wear shoes or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they're leather.
Okay.
I can feel them.
Okay.
They're tight.
They're tight.
Yeah.
Okay. And describe your dress more as you focus on it.
It has it billows out at the waist and has, I think, a ruffle at the bottom. It's more fitted at the top. Has a pretty high collar, long sleeves.
And do you notice any jewelry on your body?
Mm-mm.
Do you carry anything in your hands?
I think I have an umbrella.
An umbrella, okay.
Everything looks wet.
Everything looks wet.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you wear anything on your head?
I think a bonnet.
Okay. All right. And so the body, does that feel more female or male?
It's female.
Okay. Young or old?
Middle-aged, I think, yeah.
Okay. Does your body feel healthy or not?
Yes.
And how do you spend your time? What do you do?
Teacher.
Okay. And tell me about teaching. What is that like for you?
It's very rigid. That's the word that comes to my mind. I don't have a lot of choice about what I teach.
Okay.
I'm hearing rich children.
Okay.
I teach rich children.
Do you like what you do?
No.
Why not?
It's very confining.
Okay. So that day, are you in a carriage or are you on the street?
I'm on the street.
Okay. And do you get a sense of where you're headed to, what you're doing?
I feel like I'm walking to my classroom or to the school. I feel like I have classes.
You're on your way to work?
I think so.
Okay. You're doing a great job. Anything else about that you want to mention?
Mm-mm. I just feel unhappy.
Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's leave that scene you're looking at. Let's drift and float to where you eat and sleep at in that life that you're viewing. Drifting and floating to where you live, where you eat and sleep at, and now you're there. And describe for me what that is like.
It's very small. There's a table, small table with a chair. It looks like a lamp, like a kerosene lamp sort of thing on the table. It's very dimly lit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a small bed, like a metal, has metal on it, a blanket. It's wood, the floor is wood. There's a window. I live by myself.
Okay. And when you're outside of that place and looking at it, how would you describe it now you're there?
It's like I would say an apartment.
Okay.
It's in one of the brick buildings.
So others live around you, but not with you?
Not with me.
Okay. Very good. And when you have a meal, where does that take place? What is that like?
At the table, I don't see anything to cook with, but I'm eating at the table.
And what are you having to eat that day?
It looks like a potato, some kind of meat. Very plain food.
Okay, doing really good. Okay. Anything else going on there that you notice that you want to mention? Okay.
Again, I'm just getting that feeling of being very lonely and very unhappy.
Okay, that makes sense. You're doing so good. Well, let's do this. Let's leave that scene. Let's drift and float to an important day in that life, a day when something important is happening. And now you're there. And now what do you notice?
I think I'm happier. I'm not sure what's going on. I feel like maybe I'm getting married.
Oh, okay. Tell me all about that.
I don't see, it's more of a feeling
Okay.
that there's somebody with me. And I'm older. I'm not young, but it's finally that I don't have to be stuck in that job, and I can have what I would have considered a normal life with a husband.
Nice.
He's got a suit. He's got brown hair, glasses. No, not glasses. His face is fuzzy.
Okay, you're doing great. And tell me more about what he's like.
He's very kind, caring. I get the feeling he's been married before, and I think he has 2 daughters.
Okay.
That are older, but not teenagers.
Okay. So you're going to have girls to look after?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I'm happy.
Okay.
Because I'm past having children. I'm too old. I'm spinster. That's the word.
Okay. All right. You're doing really good. And what else do you notice that day of getting married to him?
Or outside. I don't notice a whole lot. It's more of a feeling.
Okay.
It's like,
trust those feelings.
Yeah.
You're doing great. Are there a lot of people there?
No. Mm-mm.
Just a few?
Mm-hmm.
What are his daughters like?
They're very sweet. They're very sweet. Have long braids on each side of their head. They have long dresses on. I think they're happy to have a mother.
Oh, it sounds like everybody's pretty happy for this arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
And get you out of the teaching job that you weren't so happy with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're doing so good. Well, let's leave that scene that you're looking at. Let's drift and float to another important day in that life. And now you're there. And what's happening now?
I think I'm sick
And why do you think that?
because I'm in a bed and I'm older. My body feels heavy.
Okay. I was going to ask, do you get a sense of what's going on with the body to make it sick?
It just right here.
Okay.
Feels heavy.
In your stomach?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And are you on your own, or are there others there?
My husband is there. He's taking care of me. The girls are grown up and gone.
Okay. So some time has passed?
Yes.
Okay. And you and your husband, what do you share during those times together while you're not feeling well?
I mean, he just takes care of me. I can feel sad that I know I'm leaving him soon.
I feel like this is what will be ending this life?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's leave that scene. Let's drift and float to the very last day of that life, drifting and floating to the very last day. And now you're there. And tell me what's happening.
My eyes are closed. I can't open them anymore. um, very weak. He's hanging onto my hand. He doesn't want me to go.
Mm. And what are your thoughts about
I'm just ready to go.
you're ready to go? And so what happens as you decide to start letting go?
Lightness.
Lightens, good. Okay.
Looking down,
What do you notice as you look down?
that he's crying, sad.
Now, whatever has happened has happened. You're drifting and floating away from that life, back to the other side. Now you're there. And from this perspective, you can look out over that life, know and see everything that was important about it. What were some of the lessons that you learned in that life?
That I felt restricted, so it's important not to do what's expected of me and to do what makes me happy, and to make sure that it's important to know that your family is important, but also that you need to be an independent person.
Right. You really went from one extreme to the other there, it seems, in that life. What was the purpose of that life?
I don't know what the word is. I hear benefit. I don't know what that means.
Okay, that's okay. Just tell me what you hear. That's great. We can figure it all out. Benefit, okay. Is there anything else about that life that stands out that you want to mention? Okay. And now that you're back on the spirit side, take a look around and describe for me what you notice about that.
There's just lights,
Tell me about the lights.
swirly.
Oh. Are there colors to them or no color?
Purple.
Purple.
Purple swirly.
What else do you notice?
I'm just happy.
You're happy, okay. And how would you describe yourself? Do you have form or no?
No.
No. Does it
I'm
feel
just
like
part of the light.
part of the light? Okay, that's pretty nice. I was going to ask, do you feel like there's others there or on your own?
I think I'm alone right now.
Okay. And do you get a sense of what you'll be doing while you're there as part of the light?
Resting before I move forward.
Nice. And when you're done resting, now you're there, then what do you do?
Get ready.
And how do you do that?
I have more work to do.
Okay. And how do you decide what that work is or what you're going to do to accomplish it?
My helpers.
Oh, nice. What are your helpers like?
I don't know. They're over here and they're laughing.
Oh, why do you think they're laughing?
Because I called them my helpers.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's a nice name. Okay, so they're going to help you formulate what you need to do to learn more?
They're helping me decide what to do next time.
Okay. What is that process like as they help you?
Talk about how I can grow, how I can learn, what makes me better.
Does it feel like an exchange between you and the
Yes.
helpers? And then, so what is the decision that gets made?
I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready to go back.
Okay. And what do you think about that?
That's my decision.
Okay. So if you're not ready, what will you be doing, if anything, during that time?
I learn.
Oh, tell me about what you learn about. What's that like?
learn how to grow, learn how to be the best of me I can be. Learn how to be human.
Oh, what do they teach you about being human?
That it's hard. Uh, that it limits you and you become frustrated. But there's a reason for that, to move past it.
Okay. So once you understand all of that, then what do you do?
I can go back.
Okay. You feel like you're more prepared now?
Yes.
Okay. You're doing so good. Anything else about that learning time that you want to mention?
I'm with others, I think. I don't see them, but I just sense that there's others.
And what are the others like that you sense?
They're in the light like me. That they're familiar.
Right. Very good. I know you could have brought forth many different lifetimes for her to see today. You showed her this life, kind of a restricted life as a teacher, till she became married and became a mother to the 2 little girls. Why was it important for her to see that life?
Traditional. She feels like she has to be traditional, and that's not who her soul is.
Okay.
She feels confined by the tradition and the expectations of what others perceive her to be.
Mm-hmm. So that life relates to this life in what way?
That I spend a lot of my time being traditional and doing what's expected, and it doesn't make me happy.
So what do you want her to understand about that?
To break free from that.
And when she breaks free from that, what will she notice?
Freedom.
Nice.
Freedom to be who she really is.
Right. How does she best break free from that restriction that she's placed upon herself?
Ooh, that's a good question. Baby steps.
Baby steps, right? She's really branched out into topics and areas that interest her spiritually lately.
Yes, but they're in the basement. She doesn't do anything with it. It's just that hidden part of her.
Okay. Kind of like what she was saying with her husband. She's got like 2 parts of her.
Yes. Yes, all her rocks are in the basement.
Okay. So what do you want her to understand about that?
That you're safe. You're safe to explore and do, and to not to measure yourself by what other people think. And don't be afraid to talk about all the things that you've learned with other people. Don't be afraid if they look at you strangely or don't understand, because you understand, and that's all that is important.
She doesn't have to worry about what anybody thinks, right?
Right.
It'd be a big weight off of her shoulders and
Right.
gets her out of that restricted area, it sounds like.
Yes.
Okay. We want her to be as free and doing exactly what she's here to do,
To
right?
use the gifts
Right.
that she's not even sure what they are.
Well, we'd like to talk about those today. Oh my goodness, this is going to be fun. All right. Well, as you know, she came into the session with a wonderful list of questions. Could we get started with those?
Sure.
And it would be appropriate to ask for a scan of her body?
Sure.
Okay, so you please start scanning her body. Tell me where you are focusing on for healing and repair. We do expect full and complete healing today. Where are you looking at first? In the stomach area?
Yeah.
Okay, she does have questions about that. What are
Yes.
you seeing in that area?
all the weight and all the stress of her worries
Okay.
focuses here.
Okay.
And she doesn't know how to let it out. It's boxed there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Matter of fact, we were talking about earlier that she has a test we call Cologuard that she's put up on the shelf because she's scared of the box. She's worried.
It represents the box that she lives in.
Okay, tell us more.
All the things that are expected of her, all the fears, everything is in that box. Because what happens when you open the box? What happens when you open the box? You don't know. And it's the unexpected. The unexpected that's frightening. The what ifs and the lack of I can't control it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So what do you want her to understand about that in relation to what she carries around in the stomach and the digestive area?
It's so silly. So silly. She's so strong. She understands how to heal herself. She understood this before.
Before when?
Always.
Always. In other lifetimes,
Yes.
all times?
Yes.
So she can do this.
Yeah, she's been punished. She's been punished for doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's frightening to do that. And so that's what she holds in that box.
Okay, and that's what you're talking about representing in the stomach area
Yes.
and her digestion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's had a lot of issues throughout her life with the digestive area. So
Mm-hmm.
tell her what she needs to understand about where that originated from.
You can't hold everything inside your tummy. You have to let it go. And you sense when there's something wrong, but you refuse to allow yourself to heal. You refuse to allow yourself to use those gifts because you've been told that it's dangerous and you've been hurt before and you've lost your life before for using those gifts. And so now you think I can't do that because I'm scared. I'm not able to. You don't think you can. You don't think you have those abilities. And you're very powerful. You know how to do that.
Well,
Don't be silly.
She can do it. So now that she understands that, what are you doing to help get that area back into balance again?
I'm working on it.
Nice. And explain to her exactly how you're working on it. She might find that interesting.
She can use her Reiki. She can use all the thought things, but she really just has to know it's healed.
Nice. And you're taking care of that now?
Yes.
How will she feel different after the session because of that?
Looser,
Nice.
not so constrained.
Okay.
The back is, she also carries a lot of weight on her back, her shoulders. She needs to let that go.
And tell her about why she carries weight in the back and the shoulders.
The weight of the world.
Yeah, sure. Oh my gosh. Tell her everything you can to help her understand that.
She's not responsible for everything that happens. She's not responsible for all the things that have happened to her in past lives, and to her family in past lives, that she's free to be herself. That's the message. She's free to be herself. Mm-hmm. She knows, but she's afraid. She walks around afraid all the time. But people think she's cool as a cucumber.
Got it all together, right?
Mm-hmm.
That she mentioned that her interior doesn't match her exterior.
No, not at all. So that people think they know her, but they don't.
And what do you want her to understand about that?
Let the inside come out. This is the issue. That she needs to let who she is at her heart, outside.
And the best way for her to do that is what?
That's a hard one because she's afraid. So she needs to be okay with herself to let it out. She's working on it.
Yeah. So, for example, with her husband, who she says doesn't get this stuff,
Not at all.
how can she be herself and not put that part of her away when she's with him?
She needs to understand that he is not her boss. He's not the person who decides what she does and doesn't do, what she does believes in and what she doesn't believe in. And she acknowledges that in her head. She's just been conditioned to not know it in her heart. So through lifetimes of being persecuted and stoned, mismanaged, belittled, that she feels that it's not her choice. But it is.
Is there any healing that needs to happen for her other lifetimes where those things have happened to help her let it go?
Many.
Why has her soul chosen to have so many of those experiences, I wonder?
Her gifts. Her gifts are what she lives for and what she's died for. So after so many times, it's tired. She's tired. So she hid them. And feels like this is time for me to come out. And I don't think that she understands how much she has. She doubts all the time. She doubts the healing classes and the meditation and all those things, and she wonders why am I sitting with all these people who have so many gifts, and people thank her for being part of this group, and she doesn't understand why she's part of the group.
Well, tell her more about that so she can really understand it.
You are so much more powerful than you know. You don't have to doubt yourself or your gifts. The doubt is what stops you from coming forward. The doubt and the misbelief and the fear, the underlying fear of being hurt, the underlying fear of standing out and people being afraid of you. I think that's one thing too that she doesn't understand. She feels like people will be afraid of her because they have been in the past. She has been hurt because people are afraid of her.
But going forward, she doesn't have to have that fear anymore, does she?
No.
So this worry and this fear has been a big part of this life, and she's aware of it.
Mm.
So what are you doing to help her let go of all of that so she can move past?
That's like pulling teeth. It's hard. She needs to keep working and do the work. And she needs to keep taking classes and thank you for doing this with her. She likes that.
Yeah.
So.
That's mutual. Mm. What do you think she will get from this experience?
So much freedom.
Nice.
So much freedom.
Oh.
She will like that.
Okay. Okay, so the back and the shoulders. What can she do going forward to let go of that weight of the world on the back and the shoulders?
To focus on herself and not take on, she's learning to not take on all the feelings of everything and everyone. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it feels like she's distancing herself a little bit, that she feels apathetic, but she's not. She's not apathetic. She's just protecting herself.
And that's okay.
Yes. She needs to learn how to separate her emotions from the emotions of others. Empathic, I think.
Right. Okay. And when she does that, what will she notice differently?
That it is a freedom. I say freedom a lot, but it's the freedom to breathe, to express herself in the best ways that she knows how. She is gifted, but she has many gifts that she allows to show the teacher. She's a teacher, but behind all that is the gifts that she doesn't let come forward. And that's the stifling stifling her.
Okay. We're really hoping to open that up for her today.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much for all of that. Where else in the body are you looking at?
Hips.
Okay, and what do you see going on with her hips?
Oh, the same. It's all together.
Okay. What's the root issue again then that's causing issues with the hips?
Carrying.
Carrying the
Yeah.
weight.
It's just all connected. Everything is.
Right. And what are you doing to help heal the hips?
Well, she needs to stop eating all the sugar.
Okay. Why do you think she takes in the sugar?
Because it's comforting.
Okay,
It's a habit.
Yeah.
It's not a good habit.
Very human thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so when she stops taking in the sugar, what will she notice differently?
She will feel lighter. She's better. She's drinking that celery juice, which she doesn't like very much, but it's, it's a step. It's a step in the right direction.
When she takes in the celery juice, what does her body think about it?
Thank you.
Okay. And what benefits does it give the body?
It kind of spreads out through and helps things move.
Nice.
Helps the digestion.
Okay, perfect. Oh, and that's her issue is the digestion, right?
Yes, she reads.
Okay. So she's really on the right path to helping herself there if we can get a handle of the fear and the worries.
Somewhat.
Okay. Okay. And where else in the body are you looking at?
It was really bothersome that she had the hysterectomy.
Yeah. So let's go back to that. Tell her what she needs to understand about why that event occurred to her.
It wasn't her fault. She didn't do anything. That's where also she held a lot of negative emotion. And so the body decided it wasn't necessary to have that anymore. And so it needed to go. It needed to go.
So the body was okay with letting it go?
It was. Not the way that it happened. It was very traumatic for her.
Very sudden. Right?
Yeah, scary.
Yeah.
Very scary. She had no control.
And
no control.
What do you think she learned from that experience?
To take responsibility, to be aware, because there were so many drugs that they were giving her that she had no awareness, and she was saying the prayers and trying to do some of the Reiki, but it felt like she just disconnected, totally disconnected. And she has done that before, the disconnection.
And do you feel like the body has healed itself well in that area from the surgery?
Oh, yes, she's fine there.
Okay, very good. All right. We've talked about this, but I do want to ask because it is on her list. She says, what is the cause of her fears and worries about her health and upcoming routine tests?
I don't know. She just has this fear all the time. And it hyper focuses on certain things. Anything, the lack of understanding of what's coming in the future. That's what makes things scary. The lack of control, because in the past she's had so many things happen in the future that were not under her control, that were frightening for her because of all the rules and restrictions that society has placed on her. And so the future is scary. So when you don't know what's going to come, when you can't control it, then you understand that it's frightening.
Well, that makes sense. But she doesn't need to be in fear at all, does she?
No, not when she can heal herself. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about all that she needs to know to heal herself. What would you share with her about that?
Oh, goodness. She just needs to know. She just needs to know that she has that ability. That's why people say, thank you for giving us your energy. Thank you for taking these classes, because you have those gifts innately. That's what you were given. That's why you are here. And so if you can heal yourself, you can help others to heal as well. You do the Reiki. You do that, but you only do it with yourself and your dogs.
Oh, I bet the dogs like it.
Yes, I do.
So if she does she trust that she's helping the dogs?
Oh, she knows it is.
Okay. So does she trust that she helps herself?
Yes.
Okay. So how can she take that in
Uh,
others?
Yes, but she also doubts.
Okay. So talk to her about the doubt.
I don't know why you doubt. I don't know why. Because you don't have to doubt the gifts that you were given by the source. These are your gifts that you were allowed to have. And because of all those past lives, you have not allowed yourself to bring them forth here and to use them. But it's perfectly fine.
Tell her very, very specifically about all of the gifts that she has.
You can see, but you're afraid. You have hands that heal. You hear, but you don't want to hear. You feel, mostly feel, lots of feels, like feeling what other people are feeling, understanding, and have a knowing of what's happening around you without being told.
Wow, those are a lot of gifts.
But she doesn't use them.
So she would like to be using them and understand them and not be afraid of any of it. When you say that she can see but is afraid, how does she get past that?
She has to know that there's nothing out there that's going to hurt her. She did have a negative attachment last year. She did. And she got some help from the Paul and Xander to take care of that. It was a bad hooey, she says. Bad hooey. It was scary because this negative energy was attacking her here where she was already vulnerable.
And how did that happen?
Because she is a bright light, and by the river, there's a lot of energies. That's what Paul and Sanders said, that I picked it up. I don't know.
But that issue's resolved now?
Oh yes.
Okay, good.
It's crossed over.
And
He was mad. He was mean.
I hope he finds his peace.
I think so.
Close to the light. You also mentioned that she hears but doesn't want to. Can you explain more about that?
The ringing, the high, low pitch ringing.
Right.
Yeah, that's what she hears. But also there's things behind those sounds, and she doesn't let herself do that. She doesn't hear what's behind those sounds.
So the ringing, can you, from your perspective, explain what that is? So many have that.
I'm sorry, I did not hear you.
Mm-hmm. The ringing that you mentioned, can you explain to her what that is?
It's people talking to you. It's your guides and angels. It's family. It's energies that are giving you information, and you say, "Oh yeah, I hear that." It's information, but you don't let the information come through.
How does she best do that?
She has to let herself open and be at peace with anything that comes through. It's not frightening. It's not scary. She can do that.
And when she does it, you talked about what she can hear behind the tones. What will she hear?
She will hear information that's important for her, but for all of us.
And what information has been trying to come through her through the...
The ETs.
Oh, okay, so give us all of that information.
She has... the left brain is coming. I can hear him. She needs to know that these entities are working with her family, her lineage, to strengthen the line, to make it better, so that they can help the earth.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's not to be afraid. They come all the time, She knows that. She looks in the sky, and her family knows that. Her mother was very afraid. I know that that was one of the questions. I was there.
Right.
Yeah.
So what can you share with her about her mother's experience? She doesn't remember a lot.
It was not meant to frighten. She remembers what she was not supposed to remember. Yeah, they did take, but they don't take anymore. It's more transference.
Okay.
Yes.
Are they still in contact with her mother?
Yes. Oh, yes.
And what is that experience like for her mom that she can't recall?
It was frightening because they took the family to the ship.
Oh, and what was it like when they got to the ship?
Sterile. It was, they were afraid. They were afraid. But my thought is that she didn't know what was happening, and she was not supposed to remember. So she got afraid when she came back, and it has not allowed her to be open to any of that now.
Although it still continues.
Oh, yes. She just doesn't know it.
Okay. What work does she do continuously through all these years? Can you share with her a little bit about that?
Say that again.
The mother, what work has she been doing with the ETs throughout all these years?
Oh, she says she has no gifts, but she has all the gifts. And they strengthen them for the line, strengthen them and enhance them and let them genetically move through the line so that we can all be gifted words can help. We can help.
Perfect. Well, when she asked what is her and her family's lineage and connection to ETs, is there more that you can expand on there?
It's always been there from the beginning. They think it's new. It's not. It's not. For a long time. And part of us is from there. It's hard to explain. Part of us is from that place.
What is that place like?
Oh, name. Nope. No name.
No name.
No name is allowed.
Okay. And why not? I'm curious.
It's not ready. Not ready.
So when she asked what is her planet of origin, is that same or different?
She's confused because she was hearing some different things, but I think that Lyra, yes, Lyra was planet of origin, but she has moved to other places.
Mm-hmm.
She's picked up things from all the places.
Oh, nice. Okay.
But she doesn't like it here.
So why did she decide to come into this life at this time?
No, because it was my job.
And what is...
Not hers, mine.
Yours. Okay, so you directed this aspect of yourself to the planet.
Yeah. She knows it's hard to be here, and she says it's hard to be here.
Well, she was even saying as she was on the other side that she was learning how to be more human.
Yeah, human is hard.
Has she had a lot of lives being human?
Many.
And has she had lifetimes, well, obviously in other places, Lyra, and she's been told that she's been in other places, other constellations, times of Atlantis, Egypt. What do you want her to know about all the other soul experiences that you've had?
It all comes together. She works for all of this. And don't go backwards because you're afraid.
Oh, do you think that her fear could bring her backwards a little
Absolutely. She was, healer and gifted person in lots of lifetimes, but now nothing.
Tell her a little bit about one of her lifetimes where she trusted her gifts and her skills.
Yeah, I see that, and I, through Theta, have had some of those experiences, and through meditation, but using gifts was a privilege and an honor, and to be celebrated. And some people think that it's not okay to use those gifts because they did not have them, and they were afraid. So celebrate what you have. Be proud of what you have. Because other people don't like it doesn't mean that it's not important.
So when she specifically asked what did she come to do in this lifetime, what would you answer her?
To use the gifts. She doesn't know how.
So very clearly again explain to her so she has that understanding.
You need to open this third eye. You need to keep working on meditating. You need to keep working on not letting other people tell you what you can and cannot do. She's very strong, but also has been, through the ages, persecuted and told not to do certain things. And it's just safer to not do it. It's easier not to do it. But it's time. It's time for her to do that.
Well, you were talking earlier about she has feeling and knowing as a gift.
Yes.
Can you explain that to her, please?
She knows that. She knows the feel, and she knows how to know things. She knows things, and she doesn't know how she knows things. Those things come easily to her, but it's the seeing and the hearing that she's blocked. She's blocked.
Can you help open that up for her so she can use those gifts better?
I can help.
That would be great. I think she'd really appreciate that, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, so we get all of her gifts running on all cylinders.
Yes.
What would her life be like in that scenario?
Oh, so magical.
Oh, tell her about that.
That would be so wonderful to be able to use your gifts and to show part of what you need to do is to show your family that gifts are okay, because we all are afraid to use the gifts. It's never been okay for a very long time to use the gifts, but if you show them the gifts, then everybody will, I don't like out of the closet. You know what I mean? It's,
it's been safer to suppress
it's
them.
been safer, yes. And it's not time to be safe anymore. It's time to expand. It's time to work through that, to use it, this is a bad place to be right now. We don't want to hide what we can do to help.
Right. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. So many questions. Okay. She does ask, who are her spirit guides and angels?
Yeah, I don't know. I do, but I don't want to say.
Oh, how come?
Because she needs to figure that out on her own.
Okay. Well, she wants to know how to connect with them more consciously.
Ask. It's all about the fear. It's all about that wall, that wall of fear. And once she takes those pieces down, it's open. Everything's available.
Has she had times in this life where she didn't have that wall of fear?
Yes, when she was young, and then I think got afraid because she would see things and, sleep with the pillow on her head.
Oh, tell her more about what she was seeing when she was young.
I think energies, seeing energies, and also negative. So I think some of that was fearful for a reason, because she was there were energies that were not nice, not in her best interest. And so the fear blocked all of it.
Okay. So she can even put herself back to that time before the fear and work from that way of being?
Yes. Yes, because she knows when she was even in elementary school that, pick a number and you get this. I always knew the number. It was not hard.
That's awesome. Okay. She would like to know, what is the purpose of her relationship with her husband in this lifetime or past lifetimes?
That's a sticky one. He is a good man. He is a very good man. He would do anything, but also very strong in his opinion and very controlling. And she picked him because she has to learn how to move past that, how to stand up to it. Not him specifically, but the personality traits that he shows. She has to move past that and say, I will stay, but you have to let me do this. That's part of who I am.
And I wonder, how does that help or shape him? What does he learn from that?
It's okay for other people to be different and to not have those same beliefs. And, in the past, I think past life, maybe he was somebody who wasn't very nice to people who had gifts. And so maybe that's why together we have to work that out.
Right. Oh, that makes sense. Was he in the past life that you showed her today?
No.
Okay. All right. Anything else about their marriage or relationship that you want her to know more about?
No, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. She wants to stay, but there's a part of her that wants to go because it's freedom, and that's the whole thing. We talk about freedom a lot, and she wants that feeling of being free.
Okay. So what is your best advice to her about her marriage in that regard?
Be honest. Be open about what you want to do. Be open. If he chooses not to support you, then you just need to say, this is who I am. It's not who you think I am, it's who I am. And I have to be able to express myself in those ways. Otherwise, this.
It causes the digestive problems?
Oh, yes.
Oh, wow, it's all connected, isn't it?
All of it.
Yes, okay. Wow, thank you for all of that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Going back to the ET questions, what is the purpose of the connection to the ETs?
Because we're all family. It is. We talk about the connection, but the ETs are connected with us always.
And
always, from the beginning of the time.
Okay. She asks, how do they interact with her?
Through the transference.
And tell us all you can about the transference.
When she is open to receiving, that's when she has the downloads.
Right.
Yeah, she doesn't know what they are. It doesn't make any sense to her, but she likes it. It feels good because she feels like she's a part of it.
So in that example that she shared about the copper symbols,
yes,
can you give her more clarity of what those symbols meant, what that download was all about, how it changed her or helped her?
That was for you to put in the back of your brain, for you to bring forward later, but you got to open up more. Yeah, it's important for you to see that, because then that gives you that belief that they are there. But also, you have to be able to be more open before you're actually able to consciously see that information and use that information. Right now, it's just buried back there.
When she is ready to bring that forward, what will it be like for her?
So amazing. It would, and to amplify her gifts and to support her family in amplifying their gifts as well.
Wow.
It's important information.
So tell her more about the important information. I think she'll find that very fascinating and hopeful that she carries this.
You have been brought through the lineage of very many generations, long time of people who have connected with ETs, but ETs are not ETs, they are just who we are. And it's important for you to know that they are not separate from you. You are part of who they are, and they are just living away. Another planet, other universe even, but they're all connected. All energy is connected. It's very important to know that. So because they don't look like human, doesn't mean that they're not from you, from your family. And they don't show themselves because of the fear, but they know that through the transference they can come in and give you information without the fear.
Very good. Okay. Wow. And the ships that she's seen, what's important for her to know about
Now,
this?
you asked. You asked to see, we show.
Right. So she can continue doing that?
She can continue to ask. They don't just pop in. There's a purpose. But she can continue to ask.
What is the purpose when they do pop in?
To validate. She likes that validation. She uses the flashlights when she's talking to spirits, and then she gets frustrated because the flashlight doesn't turn on and off. She doesn't need that.
Okay. So what is the best way for her to have connection with them when she was desiring?
Use the brain, use the meditation, use the sleep. Ask for information when you sleep.
Will she be able to retain that information? Remember
She
it?
needs to work on that.
How do you do that?
She needs to open the brain to tell herself, I will remember, and then she will be better at remembering. But again, she's closed off to so many things that a lot of things just like hit and bounce off.
Okay, but she doesn't need to have that experience. She can have more conscious awareness of all of it.
Yes.
Right, okay. That's so cool. Okay. All right. So she wonders, what is the significance of any of her Rh negative blood?
Is that important? It's just from the ETs.
From the ETs?
Yeah, well, and if we want to talk about the genetic sorts of things that were happening, that a lot of things were done and brought to the planet. And so she needs to understand that is just a fragment of something that has come in.
And does it benefit or not
No.
her experience?
It just makes her feel different.
And the fact that her daughter and her granddaughter has the Rh negative, what's important to know about that?
That's the connection that they have to the lineage.
Okay. Very good. Okay.
It's an important lineage. I don't want to belittle it. It's important. It's not the most important thing, but it's important for that lineage to keep continuing.
Well, share with us as much as you can about that.
I can't share a whole lot because I think it's something that they're not telling me.
Okay.
So, but it's important for the lineage that comes through.
Okay. Very good. Okay. Well, let's just jump to the granddaughter. What's important for her to know about?
Her heart is swelling. She loves that girl.
Yes. Oh my goodness. And tell us about Riley. What is her purpose in this lifetime?
She's special, like so many children being special right now. She will lift up, and not be afraid. She was born without the fear. it's not there.
Oh, that's beautiful. And when you're born without the fear, how does that help you going forward in the
Oh,
life?
so much strength, so much through the heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what is Riley's connection with her grandma?
She loves her grandma. She loves her grandma. And she helps her grandma be strong.
Oh.
She helps her grandma be strong.
Okay, bless her.
They will have so much fun.
Oh, yes, okay. And what is the purpose of the relationship with her mom and the siblings with the older brother that's having problems?
Heavy. That's heavy.
Mm-hmm. What is important for her to understand about that?
That it is not mom's perception is that she caused his behavior. The mom's not responsible. She's not responsible. He chose what he is doing in this lifetime. The substance abuse, the mental health issues. He is born into the family, but not part of the family. Does that make sense? Yeah. And so he's gone his own way. There's no karmic connection there. It's okay to let go. It's okay to let go, but be aware that through the drugs, that there is the potential that he could be harmful.
So how does she best keep the mom safe and anybody else?
Oh, the system. She has the ADT system, which the mom does not like, but she has it.
The security system?
Yes.
And that's a good
That
thing?
was put into place when the brother was gone.
Okay. All right. Do you see with him any balancing out for him or an easier way of living?
This is the path that he has chosen. So he is near the end of his path.
Okay. You think he may pass?
He will find peace.
Okay. Okay. All right. Tell us more about why Riley decided to come into her family, her soul group.
Well, she already knew that Riley was not originally part of the soul group through her interactions with Paul and Xander. And the word interloper was used, but not in a bad way, which she doesn't like. She doesn't like that word. But she is here to help strengthen not just family, but the world. She has chosen to come here. She has chosen, like so many have chosen to come here and to be the purest form of themselves that they can be.
Nice. Wow. Very special.
They all are special.
Yes, yes. Oh my goodness.
I think that also sometimes they are born into families without being part of the soul group because it's important to expand on that. Important for all of these souls who are coming back to choose the families they come into to help them, to help the world.
Nice. So, from your perspective, how is the world looking and what do you see coming?
Oh, for goodness sakes. It is hard to see the violence. It is hard to see the sickness, but to move past that. It's almost like I see fire. I see fire like burning it clean.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. And to open up our hearts, to open up the hearts, but know that there's, like you read in the newspaper, there's a purpose. There's a purpose, but there is a purpose for all of this. We just don't see it yet because we are living in our brains. But the purpose is for us to move past the fear, like this, move past the fear. Don't contain it, move past the fear and to open up because the world is changing, the world is evolving, and we need to do that as well to move past the people that perceive that they are in charge, the people who use their weapons and their violence to control people. That's very scary for most people. But to know that no matter what, you stay or you go, you will be fine. You will be fine, and to move past that, not to let all that evil sounding things that are happening to go. I lost my thought.
Oh, that's okay. So moving past the fear, letting that go,
Yes,
so that we can get through it.
You have to move past the fear. There are energies who have, in times past and times now, taken control because they are the ones that are really afraid of people like you, people like me, people like the gifts, the strong, who are really the strong ones. And it's important to know, to rise above the fear of the people imposing on us, because their way of dealing with us is to eradicate us. And that's not, they cannot do that anymore. They cannot take our control. We are taking control. We are moving forward.
And what does that look like when we move forward
It
from the
is
fear?
not easy. It is not easy, but we move forward. We move forward with our hearts, and we move forward together, which is happening, and that's why your babies are being born. They are being born to help us to learn how to be together and not separate.
Nice. Okay. So a better world coming.
Yes, not tomorrow,
Right.
but soon.
It'll be nice to let go of fear.
Oh my goodness, that's so heavy, the fear.
I know Dolores Cannon liked to say fear was for entertainment purposes only.
Ah, yes. Absolutely, she is correct.
All right.
The fear is surface.
Right, it is. And it's never real, is it?
No.
Heart stuff, that's the real stuff.
You can feel the heart.
Right. Oh, gosh. Okay, she does ask a very cool question about what she calls weird gibberish. I don't think it's weird gibberish to you. That language that comes from somewhere unexpectedly, she feels. Tell her all about that language.
It's ancient language that she knew, and it comes through when she is most at peace or most open, and she allows it to come through. She knows she can't make it up, but she doesn't know what it means. It doesn't make any sense to her, so that's alarming. It's alarming. It's an ancient, not sure. I'm not getting where it's from, but it's an ancient language.
When she allows it to come through, what does that do for her and even her daughters who are able to witness that?
It's very calming, very filling, her heart and soul, because it's a language of her home place.
So would it be fair to call it a star language?
I would say yes.
Could you demonstrate some for us?
We have been working on it. There's 2 feet of that. Ik doe iets toen wat u koeft. En toen wij heen doe iets toen pai. Toen was het over het toe. Maar koest toe wat er zo veel. Dat maar moe. Is that enough? Isn't that enough? Do you need more?
It's beautiful. I mean, I would not.
That's so silly.
I would not object. No, it's beautiful and it's so fascinating.
Yeah, she doesn't know how it comes there.
So what you just spoke, can you tell her what the content was about?
It's don't worry, be happy kind of thing. It's comforting when she says those words. When her daughters were babies and rocking, and her brain was just like Now she's just open, and then all of a sudden the words were flowing. I scared her.
Oh.
But, as it came more and more often, she just lets it come.
Yes.
But, you don't make it up.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Let's do.
It's a nice connection to her soul's past, isn't it?
Yes, it's the part that's allowed to come through.
Okay. Oh. And I noticed on the recording device it was at an hour and 11 minutes that you were saying that. That's kind of cool,
Oh,
too.
so funny.
No coincidences, right?
No.
Okay. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. That's just
You are most welcome.
A gift to be able to hear it. Thank you.
Yeah, now the voice just wants to keep coming, but no.
Oh, that's okay.
Está mbute. Eta vakust. Dasn do baliterin do sita mbute do samadoi. Ako pa do sita mbata do kocha do batten do atomba do to bahi. Astu ist dumbate indo. Itu tu te mahu ta hum ka ko ta hum ba tu hu si to ba itu at ta pashe tu. That's enough.
Oh, and what did you just share with her there?
I don't know. There's meaning, but it's not. You don't translate it very well.
Okay, that's all right. Oh, it's just beautiful. Absolutely. Do you think, she said that she had never shared with anybody before that she has this gift, this ability.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it would be good for her to, amongst people that she feels comfortable with, to be able to do that?
I think it would be good for her, but she's embarrassed because, to speak what she calls gibberish or a language that she's never heard before would not make sense. But she would be comfortable, I think, with her siblings, her sisters, her mother.
Yeah.
They would be surprised, but not with her husband. He would just laugh. But it doesn't come when she just asks it to. It has to be expressed when her soul is open and ready to speak.
Right. Okay. I just thought we were talking about her sharing her gifts and being comfortable with that. I thought I think people would just love to hear that beautiful language. It's just
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it just touches the heart though. It's beautiful.
It's very deep.
Yes, very deep. Definitely. Okay. Oh my goodness, so fun. Thank you for that again.
Yes.
Is there anything that she did not ask today that you wish she would have?
Oh, how special she is, and she does not really truly feel that there is doubt. She's a doubter. Her daughter talks about imposter syndrome. She goes to school for a very long time, very long time, and talks about having the imposter syndrome, and she can relate directly to that because when she is amongst other healers and other people with gifts, even her sisters who have many gifts, she feels the imposter, like I'm not special, I'm not like them, I pretend that I have these gifts, but she truly has the gifts. She just doesn't let them express.
But now, do you think she's ready to do that?
I am hopeful.
Wow, that's such a nice change for her in her life.
Yes.
Very good.
The stomach is feeling better.
Oh, good. What do you see going on with the stomach now?
Flow, movement, flow, energy. Good. The flow of energy.
And the best way, again, for her to maintain that after the session is what?
To not hold everything in, to not feel the fear here, to know that the fear isn't real, that you will be allowed to do what you want to do without the burning, without the violence that you have experienced in other times.
Nice. Okay. Do you think it's fine for her to do the Cologuard test that she's been putting on the shelf?
Oh, I would say yes, but there's that fear there yet. Yes, I can do that for her.
Yes, yeah. Okay, very cool. Let's go back through the body, the places that you were looking at. How are the back and shoulders looking now?
They're relaxed.
Good. She doesn't need to carry the weight of the world there anymore, does
Oh,
she?
that's a hard thing.
Free to be herself, you said?
Yes.
And the hips, how are the hips looking now?
Well, with the back, then the neck and it all aligns. It all aligns to just let the energy flow, to let the energy flow through the chakras. She needs to allow all of it to flow and not hold it, not clench it.
Okay. Good advice. How is her third eye?
It's pretty blocked. It's here, there's light.
What blocks it?
The fear.
Okay. And what can you do to help open that for her?
I am working on it now.
Nice. What will she notice differently because of that?
And she will feel the ability to be able to see what she wants to see.
Lovely. Okay. How are all of her energy centers, her chakras throughout her body?
Aligning. Some darkness here still. Some muck. Muck, yes.
Clearing that up for her?
Yes. She has that ability by herself.
And the best way for her to clear up her own muck is what?
Breathe, breathe, breathe. Breathe through the fear. Move forward, step forward. Not hide.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much for all of that.
Sure.
What else do you want to discuss today?
Do you have any questions?
Oh my goodness, I usually don't ask my own questions.
It's okay.
Okay. Oh my gosh, well, let me just think.
There's a part of her that's saying this is not okay. But, we just push it back.
Oh gosh. Well, I've gained so much just from the knowledge that you've shared here today. I learned from everyone. I do have the best job ever. I love connecting with all of these.
You are very
parts.
gifted.
Well, thank you. I love what I do. I think that helps. Dolores was a great teacher in that.
That's how I connected to you.
Oh, can you explain that a little bit?
The books, and they resonate. Listening to the books. Yes, that makes sense. We find somebody who can help us with that.
That's nice. Okay. She was a great way shower. Wonderful lady. All right. Gosh. When she decided to have this session, what was it that you hoped she'd receive from it?
Well, she was impatient.
Okay.
Yeah, a year seems like a long time, but she needed that time to work through some more issues. And this is a good time because she was truly blocked and fearful. And the progress that she thinks she makes, she gets blocked and takes 2 steps back sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she needs to know that she is not this thing. She is not this body. She is not who this body and people around her are telling her to be. She is free. Yes?
Yes. Does she have parallel lives going on at the same time?
Yes.
Can you share with her a little bit about her other lifetimes that are...
I don't see it right now.
I don't see it.
They're there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel, yes, differently. Yes. She is free in some of the other lives.
She's had the lives that haven't always been so traumatic.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's good. There's a balance.
That's why she says this is hard. Well, she makes it hard. It doesn't have to be hard.
Oh. And when she doesn't make it hard, what is it like?
So light and fresh and magical. She will love it. She will love it.
Kind of like seeing through Riley's eyes.
Yes.
Those little ones are good for that, aren't
Yes.
they? What is it, from your perspective, about being a grandma? We were trying to figure this out. What is just so extra magical about that experience?
It's like seeing through the eyes of a new soul.
Yeah.
That you can experience that being born again, that being here is your purpose and that you've chosen it and you can express it. And through those eyes, you can feel that all again.
Right. Oh, that's beautifully, beautifully said. Thank you. Okay. Gosh. How often would you recommend that she listens to her recording to get the most benefit?
Many times.
Okay.
Many times. There's no set time. Time is, as we all know, time is relative. So she needs to know that when she's feeling the fear, when she has the doubt, that it's time to listen. And to listen maybe at night when she's going to bed, because her mind is more open then.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's actually advice that I give to help take in the information without the left brain interfering with the worry. And
she has the headphones. She can put them on.
Okay, so that's wonderful. When she does listen that way, what will she notice differently because of that?
Well, because her brain is more open, she's more likely to keep it in and not push it away, and to get more information that way. She will be surprised at the language coming out.
Nice.
That language that she doesn't share with people.
So, do you have another term that she could call it besides the gibberish? 'Cause that seems to be kind of a negative.
Yes. It's just another language. It's just an ancient lineage language that she has held on to genetically through the time. She will eventually learn some of the meaning, but again, she has to be open to it.
When she gets to that point of understanding the meaning, what will she know then that she doesn't know now?
She will learn that she has brought forward all of her gifts, and that language will help her to share with others.
Nice. Okay. Oh, that's beautiful. All right. Anything else that you can think of that's important for her to know?
That she is loved. That she is important.
Nice.
To herself and to others.
How has it been for you to speak through her today?
This is wonderful.
It is nice, isn't it?
Yeah, she shuts it down a lot.
Do you think that will be a more open experience for her after this?
I think so, yes.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That must be exciting for you.
It was freedom to speak.
Right.
Freedom to speak and for her to allow the voice to come through.
Yeah, she did a very good job.
Thank you.
What about her, as you know, her sister's coming tomorrow. Is there anything that would be beneficial for her to understand about their connection or why they're doing this experience together?
We are all connected, my soul group. We are doing this so that we can express ourselves better, to move forward as a individually, but as a group. It is our job to use our gifts and to clarify for others what is happening, and for us to feel comfortable using these gifts is important, because, as a group, we have all shut them down. And so to open them up, to let go of the fear for all of us is important. That's why we are here together now.
Nice. I think many, many, many on the planet are learning to let go of the fear. Part of the work that's happening right now.
That's the job. That's the purpose right now, is that even though it is hard to be here, it is important for us to be here right now.
Right.
For the sake of the planet and the people who, we aren't all human, but some of us were human from the beginning. And so it's important for us to take that responsibility and to help them.
And so for the ones that are kind of the evil characters and all of the stuff that's going down, the ones that we're not happy with, what is their role, and how does that fit into the whole from your perspective?
They are pretenders. They are pretenders. And for their perspective, they don't want the light to come through, because the light is threatening to them. It's about power. It's about the power. We all know it's about the power, and they want all of the power. And so if the light comes through, the power is shared equally, and they don't want to share the power. So it's important for us to use our light to shine through the pretenders.
Nice. Do you see that happening?
I do. I do see that happening. It is hard when you look on the television and you on the social media to see all the very sad things that are happening, but to have hope and have faith and to trust that you and your friends and your families and your people can work together to move past that, and to not believe everything that is being shown to you.
That's really important, isn't it?
Mm.
What can you share with her about that?
That she has a job to do. She has to get up and do the job, and not be afraid to show yourself, to show the true self.
Right. That's what she's here to do, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Very good. She might notice that your voice sounds a little different from hers. Can you explain that for her?
It's my voice. She has her own choice of voice. I have mine.
I like yours. Yes. Very
It's
cool.
different, isn't it?
You're right. Yes, I love it, because you can't make that up, right?
I can hear it. Yeah. It's not quite the same as the language, but it's a different kind of voice.
Right. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That happens often, and it's a joy to hear the switch come on.
Yeah, she had read that sometimes the voice is different, and I know she was doubtful.
Well, I think she's going to have a lot less to doubt after this session.
Yes, I think she is. I think she will be a believer.
I think so, too. What a beautiful soul she is. Oh, my goodness. Well, I do want to ask, she didn't have it on her list, but her father and his passing was hard on the family, obviously, of course, because they couldn't be with him. But what is important for her to know about how that all went down? How is he doing? Everything you can share.
He is fine. We have connected with him through the Paul and Xander and through our own selves. We know he's there. And we know that he passed away after the COVID, but that was not the true cause of his passing. He was in the hospital for a reason. He knew. He had planned this. He was tired. He was ready to go. He was ready to leave the planet. And then took advantage, I don't know if that's the right term, of the situation so that his path could move more quickly, and so that the family did not have to see him suffer for a longer period of time.
Oh, gosh. gosh. Okay. So it looked one way, but it was actually another way.
That was his choice,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
He is happy. He is happy. He is with family. And he is with my mother. We know that she is visited. She has a tribe of people living with her.
Okay, she's
But
not living alone.
she doesn't like the noises. She doesn't, and she tells them to be quiet.
Oh.
But we say they are there for you. They are there to keep you safe and to keep you in harmony with the rest of your life. And the people that are there are loved ones. Mm-hmm. They are not dangerous. There have been interlopers in a negative sense that come in, but they have been pushed away.
Oh, the experience about, I can't remember what she called it. It was so interesting with the Alexanders, the voice.
The Paul and
Paul and Alexander.
Paul and Xander.
Xander, right?
Yes.
The voice box, or
that was a different person.
Okay.
He's got you know how you see on the ghost shows that they have those boxes that make staticky noise.
Right.
He's got one, and it allows the voices, the energy to come through as a voice.
Okay. And
that's very interesting because, you should be able to hear the voices without the box. But, our ears are just not working, so that we need those contraptions in order to make those connections sometimes. And it helped the heart to heal.
Okay. Wow, that is so cool. Okay.
She still listens to the recording because it makes her heart feel good.
Right. Oh, lots of beautiful gifts on the planet right now.
There are, yes.
I hear that there's a lot of souls watching what's going on the planet right now and learning from it. Do you see that?
It's a school. Right. You don't have to be here to learn from there.
Right.
So you learn right now, you learn not what to do, but you can learn about what you need to do when you come down here to help the planet. And then when we go back, not back, but where we go, to interact with the others, to give them the information, to help.
What do you do when you're not here coming through with this information?
I am a teacher. I am always a teacher. Mm-hmm. But on this planet, I was not allowed to be teacher and spirit, not allowed to combine the two.
Right.
So I would have to be teacher, but only the math and the reading and the writing and the spirit part of her is hidden. But that comes through with the teaching.
Right. Her choice to work with kids that were challenged through her career, can you give her more insight about why that was her fit?
Because she can feel beneath the surface. She can feel the pain, it's sad, the suffering that some of the children were experiencing, so that when they were misbehaving in school, there was a reason. So, the hand, she could grab the cheeks of the students, not grab,
right.
Softly, but she could give them healing with that. And even this was before she even knew of healing energies and modalities.
That's beautiful. So she can't help herself. She's going to be...
It's who she is.
She just needs to accept it and let go of the
very
fear.
Stubborn.
That's okay. She's learning.
As a teacher, you would think she would not be so stubborn.
Well, I think she's given herself a big boost forward
This was a gift, so thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Truly, truly. All right. So, gosh, anything else that you can think of that's important for her to know before I bring her back up?
I think it's important for her to remember this frequency, this vibrational frequency. So when she is meditating, she can connect together, higher self and the ego, the left side. So when she is meditating, allow that state of mind to happen, and so she can easily connect, like you were talking about earlier.
Like where it just comes natural.
Yes, it's not natural right now, but it will be.
Right. We're headed that way, right?
I think so.
I think so too. A very exciting time to be on the planet. Lots of growth.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, my gosh, it's just been a joy to sit here with you and to share information. Thank you so much. And
I have enjoyed this as well.
oh, good. Oh, that's wonderful. Do you have a final message that you would like to give sweet Darcy before I bring her back up?
Oh, just know that there is life here, and to experience it and not be afraid to have experiences because of what might happen. She is not going to be persecuted anymore.
She's past that.
Long past.
Nice.
But hanging on.
Okay. Time to let go, though, now.
Yes.
Okay. Very, very good. And her digestive system, her tummy, how's that feeling now?
It's feeling... There's some work to be done. Yes, there's movement. She's energetically... Hips, yeah, it's all moving.
Good.
But she needs to keep the flow.
And the best way for her to do that again is what?
Breathe.
Breathe.
Breathe and let go of fear, worry. Not hold it in. Not be inside that box.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you.